Showtime, rock and roll.
Let's go.
Here we go. This is a big one, Dev. Number 10.
Yep. Who would have thought we'd get this far?
Who would have thought? Two jokers like us out on the town.
Especially with the schedules like ours, eh?
Exactly. You've been busy?
Doesn't sound like I've been as busy as you. Far out. Been crazy today.
Has been crazy, but that's all good. We hit it hard and kicking goals.
Yep. Did you get a little break over the weekend?
Oh, a little bit, but nothing too drastic. Always got something to do, much like yourself.
Yeah, that's fair. I get told that I need to try to do less, but every time I try to do less, I end up doing more. So I've given up on trying to do less and just do more all the time.
You only live once, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cram as much as possible in.
Yeah, exactly. If you do as much as possible, then you never have any downtime. And if you don't have any downtime, you never have time for negative thoughts. Then boom. Optimistic life.
Exactly. That's the one. So, Isaac Cooper, is it November already? Devin, hint.
I don't know. I think he's talking about you.
Me.
Yeah, I got a beard.
That's true.
I've actually been banned from doing November.
Really? Why's that?
Because I look terrible without a beard.
Good on you.
Yeah.
That's where I know you most, from when you don't have a beard.
Yeah,
over our time.
When I looked like I was 12.
So this is our Callin Show. Let's set the scene a little bit. Off the facial hair topic for just 1 second. Today is our Callin Show, right? So that means that anyone can jump on and give their 2 cents on whether they feel like they can spin a yarn with us, join the crew, and see what it's like to go live on the podcast. So an exciting day. This is how we're going to celebrate our 10th episode. And we'll see where it all goes.
So how do they actually tune in? That's the part that I'm a little bit confused on. You might have to explain it to us.
I'm going to post it in the comments, the invite link. Cool. So it's just been shared, and anyone can click in.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Let's find out if we actually have any friends, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, it's just you and me.
Yeah. I mean, we've done it before. We can probably do it again.
Yeah, just yarn for the whole hour.
I'll chuck it on my status because I pretend like I actually have followers.
Nice one, bro. So we'll see where this goes. Maybe no one will tune in. Maybe some people will.
But we already have Isaac commenting, so surely he's going to jump in. Calling you out, Isaac.
It's one thing jumping in the comments. It's another thing actually jumping online. It's a big step for a lot of people, you know.
It's fear of the unknown, right?
Fear of the unknown. It's a good thing once you can tackle the unknown. It's I feel like it's a skill that everyone could have, right? Well, we have Fraser. Fraser is online.
Hi.
G'day, Fraser.
What a great start. How are you guys?
Good, man. Yourself?
Pretty good. Good to have you here.
Pretty good. Thank you. So I am personal friends with Devin. I go to his gym and everything. I'm just going to hold this now. So I had a quick question which I was wanting to pass to you guys. And I know that it's going to be, you guys aren't professionals in any way in this sort of topic, so we'll go past.
I'm glad you got that out before we did.
Yeah.
It's relating to mental health issues. And it's sort of like, how do you help someone who sort of just refuses to help themselves to put in the minimal amount of effort to better their life, I guess?
Damn.
Good question. Great question.
That's another question.
I mean, just to expand on it real quickly. So if someone had like a headache and you were just like, oh, sweet, well, why don't you just drink some water, take some Panadol, and you'll probably feel much better. And then they go, no. And it's like, well, I sort of tried to help you. It's only drinking water. How else can I help? And
Yeah.
these sort of people will sort of just refuse any sort of help to better their lives. So what sort of advice would you give to someone trying to help someone in that situation?
So I'll jump into that. So
yeah, you start. I'll think.
Yeah. It depends on the person, first of all. Like if I've known them for a long time, then I'll be more inclined to give them a lot more help because I know them better, and I can't save the whole world. There's 7 billion people out there, and so if I've known people for a long time, I'll start from there. But I also expect that people will meet me halfway, right? I used to want to help everyone, and that strategy didn't work. So if they're willing to put in the work as well as me giving them guidance and helping them along the way, then long term that kind of relationship is a lot more sustainable than if you're always trying to help them up and then they don't take your advice, or they don't seem to improve. Of course, like with mental health, it is difficult, and everyone's in their own personal situation. But there's got to be a bit of like it's got to be of benefit to them. And if you're putting in all the effort and there's no results, it's a lot harder to continue that over the long term because you're burning out as well as them. So, and you want to be able to look after yourself as well because everyone's got their own stuff to deal with. So I kind of think of it as like like everyone's got to see the improvement for it to carry on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So always try and help them, but they've got to put in the effort as well.
I think going on what Jason said is the most important part out of what you just said, in my opinion, is the making sure you're looking after yourself in that process, because it's the whole airplane analogy, right? If you put on your own oxygen mask first, you're more likely to be able to help other people. So one of the ways I like to help people who don't want to help themselves is try and set an example and just be constantly putting out almost signs, for a lack of a better word, on like, all right, so I'm going to keep doing this and I'm going to make a point of how well I'm going. So I used to get headaches a lot because of blah, blah, blah. So now I'm drinking 3 liters of water a day. I get a shoulder massage once a month and I get blah, blah, blah. And oh my God, my headaches are gone. And instead of you saying to this person, oh, you should do this because I've heard it helps, it's a case of this is what I did, it helped me. And they go, oh, can you tell me more about it? So all of a sudden it's less of a, I'm telling you what to do, and it's I'm showing you what to do. So I find that's one of the really effective ways. But I come across the type of person that you're talking about quite a lot with personal training, because people come to me and they say, this is what I want to achieve. And I'll be like, cool, you need to do this, 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 and this. And they go, no, I don't want to do it. And it's like, well, then why are you coming to me? Like, if you don't want to do it. But it's finding that line of, do they really want that, or is it kind of like I'd like it but it's too hard? So what are they willing to sacrifice to get to where they need to get to? And it actually takes me kind of back to your podcast, not your podcast, your blog that you wrote a while back, Fraser. So Fraser's the person I've mentioned before. He has a blog called Afraid Mind, and you talked about removing obstacles or creating obstacles to make better habits, right?
Yeah.
And it's that whole, like, you put the beer in the bury the beer in the backyard so that you're not tempted to have a beer because it's too much effort to go get it. So when you're trying to get someone to help themselves, it's about creating ways for it to become easier. I remember Bex piped up when she was cooking in the background about something. I can't remember how she said it, but it was the idea of that you're creating a habit by making it easier. So, for example, going back to the water and the headache analogy that you used, if you give them a bottle that's easier to drink from, then they're more likely to drink it. So I found that if I started drinking from Bex's Weight Watchers bottles, I go through a lot more water because it's a little sippy cup. I'm just sitting there sipping away with my clients. I look like a giant child. Well, I kind of am a giant child. But I'm just sitting there sipping away at my little sippy cup. And next minute, I've drunk 4 liters of water in a day, and my headaches are gone. So, but that was only created because I saw Bex doing it, and I was like, that looks like an easy drink bottle. I'm going to do that. So I guess my 2 main points of that is 1, show them rather than tell them, and then 2, help reduce the obstacles to create a smoother path for them.
Yeah. I agree with everything Devin said. Like if you create that environment, then hopefully that will foster their improvement over time. One thing I'd add to my point as well is that you can sort of set those expectations at the start. Say to them, I want to help you, but in order for me to do that, I'll need these things from you, or I'll expect to see this improvement in the next week or 2, or this is how I see it going. Does that work for you? And if they say yes, then you've sort of got that social contract in place, and hopefully it helps them out and just sets the bar for them.
I do find that sometimes it can be exhausting to sort of continually keep trying, and obviously like seeing no improvement, but also seeing no how would you say drive by them for that improvement as well. When it's like I know if you follow my advice, I know that it's going to help you in some way, or at the very least you can follow the advice and test it, and if it doesn't work, then we can try something else. But if there's no just wanting to engage for whatever reasons, it can be exhausting on the individual who's trying to.
For sure. And you've got to take care of yourself, and this might be a situation where they do need professional help. It might be outside of your area of expertise. I don't know if this is a specific situation that you're talking about, a real situation, but like there are services out there that they may need to engage with.
But even sometimes telling people to go see professionals, they refuse because they're like, oh, well, no, I'm not that bad. Like it's not that big of an issue. So it can be really hard. And I think
that's true.
Everyone's kind of been through that same period where someone keeps coming to them with the same problem. And they're like, I've got this problem. And you're like, well, do this. No, I don't want to. I actually had a client message me this morning and said, I've been getting really bad DOMs from our sessions. And I went, oh, okay, well, how long has this been happening? And she's like, about 2 months. And I was like, well, you're only coming once a week. So that's probably why. So you need to do more sessions. And she said, well, this is why I didn't tell you. And I was like, why? Because I was going to be right. And she goes, no, it's because you would tell me to do more and I'm not willing to do more. And I was like, well, so what do you want me to do about this? Do you want me to make your sessions easier? Do you want me to? And it's that whole, they know what they need to do, but they're not willing to do the work for it. And sometimes that's okay. Like they might just want an ear to listen to the problems. And that's something that I've had to come to terms with as a personal trainer, is sometimes they don't actually want to be fixed. They just want someone to tell their problems to, so that they can go home and put on a brave face and carry on. Because they might be like, well, at the moment it's just not feasible for me. So I'm going to tell this person because I trust them. And I just want them to tell me that they understand and that it's going to be okay. And that's all they need. And potentially just that piece of advice, just saying it's going to be okay, don't worry about it, will suddenly switch that person's brain and they'll slowly come into a more positive mindset. Because I think changing the inside narrative is a very long process. And for us, like for a lot of people, it's especially guys, be like, well, the logical thing is that you just do this to fix it. And that's sounds like quite a sexist comment, but it is a biological thing that guys are like a more logical brain. And it's like, you hear all the memes and stuff about how a girl's like, I don't want him to fix it. I just want him to listen. And it's like, we're not very good at listening. And that's something I've learned as I've gone through my PT career, is to learn to listen rather than try and fix problems all the time.
Yes.
Did that answer your question, Fraser?
Yeah, it did.
In the long-winded.
Yeah,
well,
I beat around the bush.
Just quickly building on what Devin on what you said there is it takes instead of just jumping in wanting to fix the problem. I mean, because that's what it's like for me. If someone tells me a problem, it's like, oh sweet, let's fix it. But some people just want to be heard instead.
100%. So you said that much faster than what I did, and it's like you paraphrased my 3-minute monologue.
Yeah, no, I have been thinking about that for a while, but I've got to go. Thank you for letting me jump on and ask my question, and I'll see you guys around.
Thanks for
See
coming
you
in,
later,
man.
Fraser. Have a good
All right,
one.
catch you later.
Question number 1. We went deep.
That's good. I'm just going to take I put the fire on tonight because I was like, oh, man, it's quite cold. And now it's like toasty airs in here.
All good. All good. Spinning
We're
yarns.
back.
Line the fire up. It's
Yeah,
been
man.
a bit cold recently. We're down in Dunners. We've had like crazy as ice on the roads and stuff. Traffic's been going slow. You're seeing people slip all over the place.
Yeah, I saw one of my mates posted a thing about they had someone was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go into the shop tonight. You should not be driving in this conditions. Like, nah, it's all good. I got a four-wheel drive, and then next minute, four-wheel drive back of another car. Not a good time.
Yeah, not good.
I actually had that when I was in Dunedin. When I was living down there, I went to go drive my car, not realizing that it was actually like ice on the road. I thought it was just like a bit of dew, and I went to go start my car and I just started sliding. Luckily, I stopped, and I was like, right, I'm getting out and walking, and then I had to like slide my way down the hill. I was living, I think it was like Castle Street or something. No, Castle Street's the drinking street. I was up on a hill somewhere back when I was living with Seb, actually.
That's the one. I'll stop you there because we've got our next guest. Welcome to the
exciting.
show, Isaac.
G'day, mate. How's it going?
G'day, mate.
How the hell are you?
Good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yourself? You guys sound bloody busy.
Good,
Oh,
good.
a little bit.
You know, just podcasting, doing our thing.
Talking shit.
Yeah. That's a pretty good answer, mate. Buddy.
Yeah.
You guys are underrated. Let's spam
Underrated.
hashtag underrated in the chat, guys.
Well, we're catching up to Joe Rogan. We've got
Yeah.
more viewers than we had last week, and if we're improving that much week to
Step it
week,
up.
we'll be getting to Joe Rogan standard.
Well, there you go, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My question for you guys is, obviously you guys are both very busy and highly productive. Is there anything that you do that is highly unproductive just out of enjoyment? What is it, and how often do you do it?
I can start this one off if you like, Jace.
Go.
So unproductive. So I try to make sure that I at least, one, scrolling Facebook and Instagram is one of my two worst things that I like to do when I'm bored, or when I'm procrastinating, is I'll just sit there going through and I end up on the reels and I'm just like, like going to like little dark web of the Instagram. But something that I purposely put aside to actually make myself relax, because I find that my brain is constantly whirring. So if I try to go to bed without like deloading my brain, I find it harder to sleep, and I'm pretty good at sleeping. Usually it's like 2 minutes, I'm out. But that's because I'm exhausted from the day. So one thing Bex and I do every night is we watch one episode of TV, because we're getting up at 5. We don't have time to watch anything else. And we know that if we stay up later than like 9:30, we're zonked the next day. So we'll usually watch something that's real, like at the moment we're watching Sheldon, the young Sheldon. Like it's not that good a TV show, but it just doesn't have to think, and it's just easy, cheap laughs, super fun. So that helps kind of turn my brain off a little bit. And then the other thing I like to do is read fantasy novels. I've tried doing the whole like read a book and it's like learning and you're doing things, and I've got through a couple, but I just get bored out of my tree. Whereas if I can go into like a fantasy novel, like your classics, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, that sort of stuff. I'm currently reading one about a magician, and it takes me into a world completely out of this world, and it just manages to get my whole like it stops me thinking about everything that's happening. So those would be my two unproductive things, but I feel like they're quite productive in the fact that they're unproductive, if that makes sense, because
Yeah, they sort of do
take
have
me
the
away.
benefits, don't they? They're not not totally a waste of time as they
Yeah.
do have their perks, but it's not work, I guess, is it?
No. And the one thing that would be a waste of time would be scrolling through Facebook and Instagram. But that's
Right,
just because I get addicted to watching those things, and I'm just like, wee, cats. So that'd probably be my bad habit.
My unproductive habits would be probably catching up with people. Like if I'm procrastinating hard, I'll just give someone a call. And like it's good to reach out to people, but generally if I have stuff to do that I don't want to do, I'll jump on the phone call and be like, yo, how's it going? Anyone knows that like I'm pretty extroverted, and sometimes there are days where like I just spend in my room just doing work. So that's my like unproductive habit. And my family gets the worst of it, my brothers and my mum and dad probably, but then there's friends that I'll just reach out to, and sometimes people get annoyed at me because like I'll when they message me, I'll instantly just video call them, just like that, because I'd much rather call people. But that's probably my habit. Also, if I get into a Netflix series, like I started, I'll want to finish it as quickly as possible. So I'll watch a whole season in like half a week or something. And that's real bad for my workflow. But because like I have a real addictive personality, that's what I'll do. But I'll try not to even start on Netflix if I can help it. But if I like do 1 or 2 episodes, I'm like gone. It's real bad. But yeah, they're probably my main 2. Also, I watch like the odd YouTube binge, and like I'll start on Shark Tank or something and watch like 5 episodes in a row or something, like, and then it will get like a couple of hours later and I'll be like, what the hell just happened? Why did I watch that for 2 hours? So those moments happen, but they're mine. What's yours, Isaac?
Yeah, I'm surprised actually. You're starting to sound like you didn't have any spare minutes up your sleeve, Jace.
No. I try and be productive because I always feel a bit guilty after I've done all that, and I know I've got other stuff to do. But but like everyone's got their moments, right? And it's good to deflate every so often.
Yeah, I think the weekends I try to, mainly Sunday, I try to keep away from doing work-related things, because I actually used to go in and do a workout every Sunday, and then Bex said to me, she didn't force me into anything. It was very well played. She goes, oh, like, you know how you go to the gym like 7 days a week? I was like, yeah. And she goes, you should probably have like a rest day and, like not go to the gym 7 days a week. And I'm like, I'm just doing a workout. Like some of the days I don't do a workout and I'm just working. She goes, yeah, but you should probably like not be in the gym 7 days a week. I was like, oh, you're kind of valid. And she goes, what are your thoughts on like, Sundays being just like our day, where we just have a rest and like go for a nice walk or do some like food prep, that sort of stuff. And I was like, oh, I see what's happening here. I don't really have a choice in this, do I? And then now Sundays is not the day of the Lord, it's the day of Bex. So
I was about to put myself in the dog box and say, is that your choice or her choice? But then you beat me to it.
Yeah. But I think it was actually one of the best things that I've done, is that making Sundays not a work day, because it just means that I can get away and just do things that just random life admin, and have a day of like doing like nothing. I mean, my day of doing nothing is very different to other people's idea of doing nothing, but we try to at least have a couple of hours of just zonking on the couch or watching TV. So I guess there is some downtime, but not as much as what people think is normal.
Oh, there you go.
Isaac, because I haven't like met you face to face, give a 2-minute spiel on what you're all about and your background, because you've commented on the podcast a couple of times here and there.
Yeah, sweet as. I met Devin at the fitness portal. I was flatting with his brother Casey in Wellington. So I was living in Dunedin, went up to Wellington to work up there, was employed there for a year, and then decided to go contracting. So been self-employed for, since the start of September last year. Moved back to Dunedin just to be closer to family. Obviously now I can just work
neck of the woods
anywhere. Yeah. Go to the Highlanders? No. They're playing
They're not
pretty shit though, I'll be honest, but still go the Highlanders. Yeah, so just trying to put in a decent amount of hours, building up that home deposit and getting into the gym, trying to keep fit / get fitter. So
And
that's
how?
pretty much
still,
A question for you: how's the transition been going into self-employment?
Yeah, for me, it hasn't been too much of a challenge. So when I was working down here, I was, there were sort of other people that I could rely on. Like there were other people employed that were doing the same job. But the job that I went to in Wellington, there was no one else there that did the job. So it was basically the same for me. That transition was probably the bigger transition because I had no one to, directly support me if I had any questions specifically related to my job. And then just going from that to contracting was just, a bit more admin, obviously pricing jobs, invoicing jobs, building up a bit of a client base. And yeah, so it wasn't too much of a challenge.
You've enjoyed
so what would you be?
No, it's
answer,
going
Jay.
good. Yep.
I was going to say, what would be your one piece of advice for someone who's looking at going into contracting? Because obviously you've been doing it for a while now. What would be the one piece of advice if someone's looking at doing on what they should do before they do that transition? Because a lot of people are like, we're just going to go be a contractor. Was there anything that you had to do in preparation for it, or is there any piece of advice you could give someone who's looking at that transition?
Yeah, well, I guess sort of set yourself up so that ideally you know how to do the things, or not necessarily. Like, obviously, have enough experience in the role that you're confident in your ability to do the work, without relying on other people. But really, like, if you know that it's what you want to do, for me, it was just kind of get into it and just get started. I actually sort of started, like thinking about going contracting and setting things up, a few months before I was planning on doing it. But once I started actually getting into the process of setting it up, I was like, well, it's pretty much ready to go. So, I might as well pull the trigger. Yeah, but it's not going to be perfect, and you're never really going to be 100% ready to do it. So, if you've got the experience and you're ready enough, I think you just got to start taking those steps to do it, and yeah, just do the work.
Take a leap.
Do the mahi, get the
Oh,
treats.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
There's a really valid point though that you made is you're never going to be ready to do it, and it correlates into literally every part of life. I've never been ready for anything that I've done. Some of it I've achieved, some of it I haven't. But like, when people are like, oh, so like, how did you get ready to set up a gym? I'm like, I don't know. I kind of just did it, and like had to figure it out on the way. But like, I had a plan, obviously, but I never felt ready, and I still don't feel ready half the time. And it's the same thing with me and Jason playing underwater hockey. Like, you're about to go to tournament, and you're like, well, I'm not ready. Like, I'm not fit enough yet. I'm not strong enough yet. I'm not fast enough yet. But I mean, we still managed to come second at the World Champs. So obviously we weren't ready because we didn't come first. But I'm not bitter. It's only 10 years ago. Oh, longer than that now. 11 years ago. Shit. We're old.
It was a good event, but a poor day when we lost that final.
It's horrible.
Oh well.
Yeah, it can be a little bit messy, but
bigger things.
But no, it's definitely taking the leap is good. Want to push yourself to new boundaries.
Absolutely.
Because what exactly is your job again?
Do you know what a steel fabricator does? basically, a steel fabricator is in the workshop, cutting the steel beams, welding the plates to the beams, for use in new commercial projects or new residential projects, or maybe like earthquake strengthening buildings. And what I do is I make the drawings that the steel fabricators are working off. So it's called steel detailing. So basically, I kind of take the engineer's specifications and the architect's drawings and turn it into a package that I can hand a steel fabrication workshop to manufacture.
Damn.
How'd you fall into that?
My dad works in a steel fabrication workshop, and he was just telling me about, they were looking for someone to train up doing the steel detailing, just making the drawings. And I just started asking him questions about it. And at the time, I was sort of, I'd recently built my own computer and was sort of doing a little bit of programming and that sort of thing. And I was like, actually, this sounds like something I might be interested in. And he's like, oh, do you want me to send in your CV? And I was like, yeah, sweet. So went in, had an interview, and they liked me, so got the job.
So good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it worked out all right.
That's
The
cool.
person that was supposed to be teaching me ended up resigning, so I had to teach myself. But
awesome. Because it's not one of those jobs you sort of grow up in school with, and they're like, oh, hey, little Isaac, what do you want to be? And you're like, steel detailer. And they're like,
yeah, I had no idea that it existed, right? You just, I guess just hear about it, give it a go,
yeah, me neither.
like it.
Yeah.
Me.
I didn't even know that the steel fabricator, like what that was. So learning new things every day. How good.
Well,
There
next
you
time
go.
we're in need of a steel detailer or a steel fabricator, we'll know who to come to.
Great.
Yeah.
Who you gonna call?
Put him in touch with Andre.
Yeah, that's the one.
Building houses. Get some big, strong ones.
Righto, Isaac.
all right.
Any last minute thoughts before we tune out?
Oh, I think you asked me what I do to waste time. Something that I do is I like this one video game, Rocket League. I just like, I don't know what it is, but every time I'm playing it, I just love that game. So, but not too much. I used to play it sort of daily when I was still going to school. Now it's maybe once a week, but yeah, it's bloody good. I think it's good to just, not everything you do has to be work. As long as you're doing the work, have that something
absolutely.
that is just sort of for yourself as well.
Get that.
All comes down to how you're wired. Some people want that time off, some people don't, It's about balance, and that's individual,
All right. Peace out, guys.
Yeah.
I'll make way for the next person. Hopefully you got
Thanks,
something
Isaac.
to do, mate.
Champion. Later, bro.
Okay.
Keep up the good work. See you later.
Interesting who you meet in these things, eh?
Yeah. So Isaac actually replaced me in the flat that I was flatting with Casey. Pretty sure it was me. No, he replaced another flatmate. I was replaced by another girl, and then I was there out for maybe like a month or two, and then he came and joined it. And then he heard about the gym, came down, signed up, and then he actually got into CrossFit
he's a member.
after that. He was,
Yeah.
yeah. He was a member for a bit, and then he got into CrossFit. I actually didn't ask him what he's doing down in Dunedin, but you could go do a gym session with him, man.
Sick.
Yeah.
And there
Finally
we go.
get your abs back.
Yeah, I need them back. But I've been getting in the pool recently, and
Oh, yeah.
it's been so good. And like I've still got a little bit of speed. There's probably a couple of guys that are faster than me, and I zip around the pool like I used to do. But afterwards, it just takes so much longer to recover than back in the good old days.
That's so bad,
Come
eh?
up with, yeah, it's not like I can just go strike after strike after strike. But
So for those who have no idea what Jason's talking about right now, we've talked about playing underwater hockey before, but Jason is one of the most strangest people I've ever met when it comes to swimming, because he can't swim without fins on. Yet when we were playing under 19s, he was probably one of the fastest underwater swimmers in the country. And like he would smash everyone on every strike. Like he was way faster than me. I was like a okay-ish competitive swimmer. On the surface, I'd leave him for dust. Put us underwater doing dolphin kick, and he was smoking me by like a couple of body lengths. It didn't make any sense.
It's because I've got such stubby, inflexible limbs, right? So anytime that I try and like do something that resembles just a normal swimming stroke, it looks like I'm a
Child
failing fish or something, you know. Like, but then get me underwater. I've got these big quads I can use my flippers with, and it powers me through. Yeah,
That was so good.
Yeah, so good. The good old days. Now I'm getting old and fat.
Well, I'll be coming down to Dunedin end of July. Got the four-side tournament down there, so hopefully you signed up for that.
Well, it does conflict with another commitment I might have, but I might see you for a little bit that weekend. Unfortunately,
I hope so. Jeez.
Yeah, so
Coming all the way down.
I'll come see you, but I don't know if I'll be at the event. Unfortunately.
Honestly.
I know.
Busy
the thing
man.
I love about you, Dev, is every year since I've known you, you've always said, come to the four sides. And every year I haven't. And the year that I'm in Dunedin and I've got my kit down here, I still can't make it. So try again next year. You haven't failed me yet at trying to.
It's very unusual for you to have a commitment as well. Like you're never busy. So like
yeah, I live a quiet life. I'm close in my room. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. But hopefully I'll see you that weekend at some stage.
That'll be
Because
good.
are you coming down the whole weekend?
Yeah. I fly down on Friday, and then I will leave. I usually leave on the Sunday afternoon because there's usually a few brews at the after party.
Mean. There's been a couple more people tuning in, I can see. So if you're
fantastic.
on, today is our call-in show, and you just have to hit the links in the comment if you want to jump in and give your 2 cents on a topic. Or not.
And if you're too shy to jump on, you can throw in
shy.
a comment as well.
Yeah, if you've got a
Ask
question,
couple of questions.
throw a comment up and we'll talk about it. Otherwise, we'll just spin yarns like we normally do.
We're pretty good at that. I feel like
Yeah, pretty good. We've had almost 30 years practice.
Yeah. Yep.
What are you going to say?
I was just saying I had an exciting milestone for the fitness portal today.
Did you, mate?
Had our 200th member at Tawa. Well, actually, it was over the weekend. We're actually at like 203 now. But things are flying pretty smoothly with the Tawa gym. And this is middle of winter, so we're hoping
fitness
that we
portal
can
killing the game.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of recessions and in the middle of COVID, nothing can hold you guys back.
Yeah.
Little plug.
Next 6-week challenge starting soon.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
How many people have you got signed up to that?
Well, we only just started advertising it last week. I've got about 8 of my clients jumping on. Our head coach Taylor said he's got about 5. Tim said he's got a couple of his clients, and then we had a lot of people coming through. I haven't actually checked the numbers on the actual sign-ups yet because I usually like to give it about a week and then have a look and then give it another week. So nothing like a bit of last-minute signing people up close to the end time, because that's what people do is they wait right until the cutoff date and they're like, oh yeah, that's right, I need to sign up to this. So if you're that person, don't sign up right now.
So 6-week challenge, what is it? Give your 2 cents on it.
So the 6-week challenge is we do ours as a body transformation. It's not a weight loss challenge. A lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't want to lose weight, so I can't do the challenge. It's not about that. It's about creating yourself a goal at the start of the 6 weeks. So some people could say, I want to lose 5 kgs of fat mass, not 5 kgs of weight, fat mass, or it might be a weight loss goal. That's absolutely fine. If you want to lose 10 kilos, you lose 10 kilos. If you want to lose 5 kilos, you lose 5 kilos. If that's your goal. Other people have done, I want to run a half marathon in sub 2 hours, or I want to lift a total of blah, blah, blah for deadlift or bench press or squats. So as long as it's a performance-related goal, that's a SMART goal, so specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-driven. And then we also get you to do a body scan. So we've got a 3D body scanner at the gym, and that tells us what your fat mass is and what your muscle mass is, and then it'll give us your body fat percentage. So what we're looking for is a decrease in fat percentage, because the more muscle you have and the less fat you have, you could be the same weight, but you could have a drop in like 2-3% body fat. And the studies are coming out now that BMI is not a very accurate representation of somebody's health. So for example, I'm considered obese. Like I'd say I've got a little bit of weight that I could lose, but that's always like some people would look at me and be like, there's no way that you're overweight.
And I'm on the high end of overweight as well.
Yeah, and you've got almost a six-pack. Like it doesn't quite, and all the rugby players,
Almost.
all the All Blacks,
Yeah.
all considered severely obese sort of thing. Like,
yeah.
And it's because
it doesn't
BMI
work
doesn't
for
take
people
into
like us.
account muscle. So body fat percentage, there's just released, not just, but they've released kind of levels of where you should be body fat percentage. And a healthy male should be between 20 and 25%, and a healthy female should be 25 to 30%. And then athletes, it's 15 to 20, 20 to 25. And then when you're starting to get to like below 15% for males, that's when we're starting to look at not like unhealthy, but it's a little bit less sustainable unless your genetics are more taken that way. And then for females, if they're below 20%, it's a little bit less sustainable. And if they go below 15%, they can actually lose the period. So fun facts for you.
Yeah, I've always had an issue with people who like their primary goal is to lose weight. Like, yes, that can be a byproduct of being healthy, but I always think that people should strive for functional goals, because that's a better representation of how healthy your body is. And what I mean by functional goal is lift more, run faster, just make your body a well-oiled machine so that it can
eat
operate
more.
Well, you can eat more if you're doing more exercise. That's the great thing. That's been half my motivation to like working out and exercising, so I can eat like an absolute manimal. You know, I can just go to any buffet and surprise the hell out of the people who work there. You know, because I've always had functional goals, because I've never jumped on scales really. Scales every so often. I've just been interested in where I'm at, because I haven't weighed myself for like 2 years, but it's always been functional goals. You know?
See, I started weighing myself when I was younger, and I got into a really bad habit where I was like weighing myself every day, and then I got real like obsessed with my weight, because I was always a bit of a chubby kid, and I got this idea that my weight was my worth kind of concept, and it was pretty depressing now that I look back on it, because I wasn't actually that overweight when I was in high school. When I got to uni, that was when I actually got fat, and I was like unhealthy when I got to there, but I was always fit, strong, fast, and that's exactly what you're saying. Like, it should be based on your functional ability. The only reason I use weight as a indicator now is because I compete in a weight class for weightlifting, and that's the only reason that I like keep an eye on it.
So that's a little different.
But when it comes to being functional, like I like to call, you know how sometimes there's like quite a big person, but they're super fit, super strong, and like people always get underestimated. I call that fat fit. It's like they're actually really healthy. They just hold a little bit of extra weight, or they just like to eat a bit more. And then you've got skinny fat, which is the people who are super, super skinny, but they're kind of like soft. And that is actually just as unhealthy as being 30 kilos overweight, because your organs are holding all your fat. And that's actually almost worse, because it's the organ fat that's your bad fat, that's your visceral fat. And you want to be getting rid of that. So the only ways to get rid of visceral fat is actually by eating a cleaner, healthier diet and building up your like cardiovascular health. Also doing strength training will help it, because your muscles will grow and they'll burn more calories. And then, so really what I'm saying is be functional. And exactly what you were saying is that functional goal.
And also some people increase weight once they start exercising, and they're like, oh, this program isn't working. But muscle weighs more than fat, so you could be gaining muscle and then losing fat. And if you weight's your primary objective, then and you see it going up, you may think that's not working and not stick to the plan. It's
But
we
your
live
whole
in an
body is
upside
just
down
going.
world.
Yeah. And it was like Bex was saying, her mum's a hairdresser, and they always have magazines in a hairdresser salon. And she said, what's changed in the books? And there's always like those body expectations. So it used to be skinny, this person weighs 47 kilos, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, look at these strong, fit women. But it's always constantly putting in these unrealistic ideas of body goals for people. Now, I want to look like that. But it's like, to look like that, you've got to be gymming 6 times a week, eating this clean. You've got to be doing that. And let's be honest, like, most people who look like that, they're not that happy in themselves. Like, unless
if they're gymming and they're exercising and
if they're doing it purely
out
for the aesthetic and they haven't learned to do it before the love of what they're doing. Like, it's very rare to find a bodybuilder or like a top sports person who focuses a lot on their aesthetic that they're actually happy within themselves. And people look at them because, you know, Instagram tells lies. It's like a highlight reel. They're like, oh yeah, like I want to look like that person because look how happy they are on Instagram. But whether they actually are happy, that's a question that could be debated till the cows come home. So pretty much what I'm saying is don't compare yourself.
Yeah. It's person dependent whether their mental health like, correlates in that way. But and like on a macro level, if we like take societal trends, if people exercise, they'll be happier. You know, that's just the nature of it. You release endorphins, their body functions better, they can think clearer, they put more focus onto eating healthier because they're putting all this energy into exercising. So like, it's all upside if you get on the exercise train, you know. And I think the earlier you start, the easier it gets.
100%. And it's not going to be easy. It's never going to be easy, but you've just got to take that first step. Kind of like what Isaac said earlier on. He said, you just got to take the leap. Just got to get it done.
Take the leap.
Not going to be ready for it.
The leap. Exactly. Wise man, Isaac.
Very wise man.
Here we go. Question from the amazing Ruth Glover. 6-week challenge. People self-sabotage. Any ideas how not to? I think that's directed at you, Trainer Glover.
Yeah, well, self-sabotage is one of my favorites for myself. I'm great at self-sabotage. As soon as I tell myself that I want to lose weight, I put weight on. Like, it's a weird sort of trend. Or I'm doing really, really well at something, and then suddenly my brain's like, you're doing really well at this, so I'm going to make you do shit at it now. And then I'll completely like go on a massive binge, or I'll decide I need to go out and get on the piss, and then I'll end up being hungover for like 3 days because now that I'm almost 30, I get hungover for like 5 days. It's terrible. But I think with the self-sabotage front, it's about setting, one, a realistic goal and making it so that you're not restricting yourself too much if you're a tendency to do self-sabotage, because the classic for people is I was actually watching a video today, and I was talking about how our brain doesn't process negative words. So, for example, if I said to you, oh, how are you going? And you said, oh, I'm not bad. Then all your brain processes is that you're bad, because it doesn't process the not. So same thing with, I'm not going to drink this weekend. All it hears is, I'm going to drink this weekend. So we're subconsciously sabotaging ourselves by the way we speak. So if we change it to a more positive, I'm going to drink 5 liters of water this weekend, or I'm going to go for a walk this weekend, like those little things, and making it more about positive change rather than I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to have that, I'm not going to eat this, because all of a sudden you're telling your brain that you want it, especially if you're stubborn. Like, people don't like being told what to do, so they tell themselves not what to do, and then all of a sudden they're in a position where they're doing what they said they weren't going to do.
Yeah, it's like when people say, don't think of a pink elephant, and now what are you thinking of? You know, your mind just instantly goes towards the pink elephant. So if you think of the behaviors that you actually want to do, and just exclude all the bad behaviors, then you can actually that's what you'll focus on. That's what your mind tends towards. The other thing I'd say is once you get like a little bit of momentum, it's easier to get more. And so if you start off doing low acts and then increase it a little more and increase it a little more over time, then before you know it, you won't want to go backwards because you've invested so much time into making that behavior change, and then it becomes a habit.
It's kind of like micro and macro goals, right? It's like you create this big goal. So let's say your 6-week challenge is your goal at the very end is what you want to achieve. So let's say you're wanting to lift 100 kilo deadlift. You would create micro goals to get to that deadlift. So every week, maybe you would test your deadlift and see what you've got into. Or you could say, well, so let's say you're starting at 60. Each week, ideally, you would want to be hitting a number that gets you up to that 100 kilos. And so that's like a little mini win. And you're creating that the progress that you were talking about, Jace, where it's a case of it's just rolls on, that roll-on effect, the snowball effect. That's what I was looking for.
That's the one. We got there in the end.
Yeah. My 5-minute monologue.
Self-sabotage. I think it happens to everyone. Just also cut yourself a bit of slack if it does happen. Like, we're only human, so try and like take the losses and understand why it happened and try and improve for next time. It's not the end of the world if you have to go a little bit backwards. You can, like, there's still hours in the day tomorrow. You can get back on the train. You can start going again. You can make low goals. You can start striving to better things. It's not the end of the world if something doesn't go your way some of the time. Hopefully, over the long run, you do improve. But with those little failures, it gives you a moment to readjust and think things through and hopefully move forward.
Yeah, I guess if you remind yourself constantly that progress isn't linear and there will be dips and troughs along the way, as long as you don't have that fall and go, oh no, it's ruined, I give up. I'm 2 weeks in and I've had a donut. I'm not going to win now. It's like, okay, you've had one donut, that's not going to ruin anything. So if you have 10 donuts, that's when it's going to ruin things. So little mistakes don't need to turn into big mistakes.
Yeah. Don't throw your toys too early. Try and
just imagine you being like, rah!
Yeah, exactly. You can fix situations. Like, I'm a big believer in the human spirit. So if things seem real tough, like it's good to like think things through, think what went wrong, and then like hit it hard and try and go again. 100%. We can get back up. So yeah, there's been a ton of failures that Devin and I have been through, no doubt, and that's all part of the journey. But we try not to dwell on those losses or failures. They're just part of the journey, and like a lot can happen in a year, So you can pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, and keep going forward.
100%.
A good question.
That's
Self-sabotage.
Beautiful. Yeah, great question.
Yeah. All right. Is there any more questions out there? Or does someone want to jump on in the next 7 minutes? 7 minutes takes us to an hour. And so if there's anyone out there that wants to spin a yarn for 5 minutes or so, now's the chance.
Is there anyone out there? Kind of like sounded like you were about to start a song.
Otherwise, it's just me and you, Dev. No one would want me to break out into song. I can tell you that much. I have many talents, but singing is not one of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I used to think I was a really good singer. And it was actually something that when I was younger, I was like, I am the best singer you'll ever meet. Like, I thought I was so good. I can hold a tune.
I think I've seen you sing on occasion as well.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen you rap.
Yeah. The rapping's also not that good. That usually comes out when I'm just like having a bit of fun. But I used to be in a choir, and I was actually like all right. But yeah, I always thought I should have been the soloist, but turns out my sister got the good singing genes and I got the okay singing genes. So I'll claim it. I can't be the best at everything. So I've had to learn to be a little bit less proactive about telling people how great I am at singing, because then when I actually sing, they're like, ooh, that's a few notes out there, but I can hold a nice tune. Great at singing nursery rhymes. I'll hang out with my little niece, sing nursery rhymes to her. She loves it. She thinks I'm great. So that's
the main thing, Dev.
Yeah. 1.5-year-old child.
It's important. It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to meet my nephews probably at the end of this year. They'll be excited.
Oh, that's right, because you're going overseas, eh?
Oh, no. They might be coming here.
Oh, cool.
Because we haven't seen each other because of COVID. So I've got 2 of them now.
Hey.
So, no, hopefully they may be the only ones that I sing to, and hopefully they'll love my voice as much as your niece loves yours.
They'll be crying. We'll be hearing it from all the way from Wellington.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be like cracked windows when I start to sing, and there'll be crying babies. I'll be like, this trick isn't working.
Yeah.
Oh well. Hand them back to the mother and father.
Yeah, well, that's the greatest thing about being the uncle, is that you wind them up and then you go, here you go.
Yeah.
Bye.
Feed them sugar, and when they start going downhill, hand them back. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're crashing. Here you go. Sorry. Not really.
Yeah. Whenever I send them presents, I try and make sure that's noisy and messy. The kids love it.
Parents hate it.
Yeah. No,
that's brilliant.
It's always a good game we play in our family.
I like that. It's a good one.
You know, yeah. Messy and noisy. Yeah. But what have you got on this week, Dev? Shift our thinking a little bit.
Well, what have I got on? I'm working a lot. I'm actually going to Australia next week.
Are you?
Yeah,
I did hear about this reffing.
Yeah, me and Ben Seddon and Richards and Jack Whiterod and Andrew Harris and Chris Mick. Yeah, epic. So 6 of us going over to help with the Australian Nationals underwater hockey competition. They do like a 5-day competition over there. It's pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
Whereas New Zealand does like a day and a half.
Well, they come from all over.
Yeah, they come.
How many teams in that comp?
There's 4 different grades. So they've got the men's elite, the open elite, because the women can play in the open, and then there's the women's elite, and then there's the under 19s grades, and then I think they might also have a masters grade this year, which is pretty cool.
Massive. That's awesome.
And I think so it's pretty big competition. I think because it's like the first one since COVID, they're real pumped. And so they were like, "Yo, we need to all jump in onto this." So yeah.
5 days.
Pretty
so what days is it, like from Thursday till Monday?
No, so I leave on Sunday, and then I think we set up on the Monday, and then it's Tuesday to Saturday. Then they have a massive after party on the Saturday, and I fly home on the Sunday.
Man,
so pretty intense. But yeah, don't have to test on the way out or way in anymore. So
that's the one.
Good times.
Oh, you'll
just got to avoid getting COVID for the next 7 days.
Yeah, just don't leave your home.
Yeah, that's really easy to do.
Do virtual calls.
Yeah, I'll be like, "Hey guys, I'm just not coming to the gym this week."
Yeah,
you can train
from the sidelines.
Yeah.
Make the people you're training carry around a laptop or an iPad. You can tell them what to do.
We're like, "Yeah, that looks good." No, don't do that.
Yep.
Turn the camera around.
Get that squat deeper.
Yep. Exactly that.
Nice.
What about yourself?
Go on, that's cool. Well, it's uni break at the moment. So I am getting stuck into global games work. So that's the sports events I run. That's full noise actually. So
cool.
2 years we haven't been running because of COVID. We've been put through the rinse, and now we're getting back on court. So we've got 4 big events that we'll be running this year: Auckland, Taupo, Christchurch, and Queenstown. So right across the country, and we're hitting it hard. we've got new team members and new infrastructure where it's going to be a crazy season, but it'll be really good. I'm really
Oh,
excited.
good.
Pumped. Yeah. So the sign-ups are going well. We've got hundreds of teams involved this year. So going to give a lot of kids awesome experiences.
So what sports are played? Like, is it just heaps of different sports, or?
So we've got the New Zealand Junior Girls Rugby Festival up in Auckland, and then we've got
Cool.
the New Zealand Junior Rugby Festival in Taupo, and then we've got the New Zealand Junior Rugby League Festival in Christchurch, and then the South Island League of the New Zealand Junior Rugby Festival in Queenstown. So mainly rugby, but next year we're getting into new codes. So
Cool.
yeah, those haven't been announced yet, so it's sort of under wraps. But watch this space. That's all I can say at the moment. Big things
Very
to come.
exciting.
Yeah. So no, it's we're hitting it hard, and August and September will be busy months for us. That's for sure.
Damn, that's cool, man.
So this is like the main time that I have to really get stuck into it. So yeah, that's my next couple of weeks.
Use your time wisely.
Exactly. But we've got good team members, and we've been working away in the background. Even if we couldn't run events over the last 2 years, we've been tweaking things here and there and making sure that we could run. So yeah, we're looking forward to putting on a good show.
That's awesome.
So that's my week. Anyways, we've just hit an hour. If there's anyone else that wants to give their 2 cents, now's the time. Otherwise, we might clock off. Any last thoughts, Steve?
I think, first of all, thanks Fraser and Isaac for jumping in, and Ruth for sending through a question. Appreciate that. And yeah, if you ever want us to go through any topics or hit some big questions, feel free to message it through to either me or Jace, or chuck it on the comments page, because we always love spinning a good yarn. And yeah, that's about all I've got for my last thoughts.
Yeah, that first question went pretty deep, eh? Like,
that got real deep. I was like,
I thought this would be like a light and fluffy show, and I came in all happy and see what we get, and bam, mental health. All right, let's go.
I was like, here we go.
It was a good episode. We really enjoyed having everyone on the show, and we'll I think we'll do it again. I think it's a good thing, you know.
I reckon episode 20.
Thanks, Isaac. Yeah.
Cheers, Isaac.
Cheers, Isaac, for the support. You're a champ and a half. We might have you on again sometime. But I think that's all for today. We've spun a yarn. We've jumped on for an hour. We'll be back next week on Monday. So, everyone have a great week. I know it's getting colder, but that doesn't mean the spirits have to drop.
It's all about that winter spirit. Let's go.
Thanks, Ruth, for the support. We'll
Thanks,
catch
Mum.
you later. Have a good one, everyone.
Peace.
Laters. Peace.